Looking here first, NTI versus OTRI. This is the spot rate versus the tender rejection rate. These are going to be measures of capacity. So the higher these numbers go, the tighter the market is. Tender rejections bias towards that larger contracted freight, and they are up. They're elevated, but they're not spiking on the same level as the NTI or the spot market is. The spot market, of course, seeing some decent little devil's towers there, where we've had some this undulation. Specifically, it seems related to increased raids or regulatory behavior, targeting the segment of small carriers and operators out there. Spot rates have been very volatile. I've talked to several brokerages here in the last month or so that say that this market is becoming increasingly touchy in terms of whether or not you can secure capacity, especially on the spot market level. The contract market, a little bit more stable with tender rejection rates, still 6%. That's still a fairly high figure considering where we've been over the last couple of years. Now, what makes tender rejection rates elevation increasingly interesting is the next chart here, the OTVI. Tender volumes are 17% down year over year, and they don't look like they're really trying to get any better anytime soon. Tender volumes on the floor, and of course, a large chunk of this is due to modal conversion. Intermodal has really taken a lot of share from the truckload market this year because of the increased amount of time that a lot of shippers have brought these goods into the country. And of course, it gives them a little bit more time to have some rolling on rail cars and gets into a warehouse for a little bit longer period of time, stretch of time. Sense of urgency, though, does increase around the holidays, so we might see a little bit of an uptick here in demand. Let's go to the next chart and look at tender rejection rates compared with demand. Now, this may be the single most important chart for those of you that don't understand that demand and supply don't always move in the same way. Tender rejection rates going up in white, tender volumes coming down in yellow. A very strange mechanism as demand appears to be falling and capacity is tightening. That is not the traditional way that we think about supply and demand dynamics, especially in the truckload market.